Here in Canada, it is already cold as piss. With all of this pandemic nonsense going on, our already minuscule summers were cut short. And now we're in the full swing of winter. Oh, I mean, I barely got any sun on these old bones. I literally went from pasty to pale.
What's your real name?
Casper. But my friends call me Whitey.
I just wish I could go back in time to a point where we were all enjoying some good times and sunshine. So, you probably know where this is headed. I started thinking about time travel movies and about which ones that I could review on this channel. Now, some of my buddies would want me to go with Time Cop, a 1994 action sci-fi film starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. But I'm pretty sure they're only interested in that movie because of his pure raw athleticism, if you get my drift. Rather than bow down to perverted peer pressure, I decided to go with a lesser known film. A weird little movie about a band of time-traveling dwarves that jump from time period to time period with the goal of stealing treasure. That's right, I watched Time Bandits. So, crack open a cold one and join me for another movie review from the Great White North. The movies might be good or bad, but at least the reviews will be beauty. Time Bandits is a 1981 fantasy adventure film co-written and directed by Terry Gilliam, who, if you don't know, is part of the legendary comedy troupe Monty Python. Sure, Gilliam is a master of comedy, as shown in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Brazil, and the Adventures of Baron Munchausen. But we also need to remember that he has given us some absolute gems that are more serious in tone, such as The Fisher King and 12 Monkeys. If it isn't already blatantly obvious by now, I'll spell it out for you. I'm a big Gilliam fan, so any of the movies that I just mentioned definitely deserve a watch. Time Bandits is my personal favorite and deserves the spotlight. However, before we dive into the film, today's PC culture dictates that we find the least offensive nomenclature for the actors represented in this film. According to the LPA, Little People of America, persons of this community prefer to be referred to as dwarves, little people, or people of short stature. Personally, I don't like any of those terms. These guys have names, goddammit, and I am going to show them the respect they deserve by calling them by those names. That's right, I'm talking about David Rappaport, Kenny Baker, Malcolm Dixon, Jack Purvis, Mike Edmonds, and Tiny Ross. These guys did a phenomenal job in this movie and absolutely transcended their typical roles of creepy little sand creatures, warrior teddy bears, and bleep blooping robots.
Bravo!
Now that I've done my due diligence, I can dive right into this movie. The film follows Kevin, a nice little kid with absentee parents, who reminds me of another little Kevin who we all know with absentee parents. That's right, you know who I'm thinking of.
I made my family disappear.
Now, right off the get-go, I can tell you either Kevin is an overactive dreamer or he's been huffing a little glue before bedtime. I mean, 1 minute he's sitting still and then the next minute a goddamn knight is crashing through his wardrobe. I mean, I knew a kid back in first grade. His name was Dustin. Loved the glue. And he also loved Doritos. I mean, this kid had an orange ring around his mouth. Made him look like a clown. Oh, anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. Kevin loves tripping balls in his bedroom, or as the kids like to call it, having a vivid imagination. Kevin is so confident that he's going to have another good trip or colorful dream that he brings his camera along to verify if what he's seeing is real or if he's just melted all of the synapses in his brain. I mean, anyways, this go around the whole gang piles out of the wardrobe. Sure, this isn't the kind of gang that would make inner city street thugs quake in their boots, but heck, it's a gang nonetheless. It's the Time Bandits, baby! Now, I'm not gonna look down upon these characters because of their short stature. No. But I have to say that the Time Bandits aren't the most moral group. I mean, their main goal is stealing treasure in different time periods with the aid of a map stolen from their boss, the Supreme Being. I mean, my previous employer always had the cheapest shit. I mean, obsolete computers, bland coffee, and pens that never had any goddamn ink. I mean, and these boys got their hands on a map that allows them to travel through time? Lucky. In their adventures, the bandits meet a few historical figures, such as Napoleon Bonaparte, who shows off his short man syndrome.
Oh, Commander, you are not small. You are not small at all.
No, not by any means. 5'1" is not small.
Yeah, 5'1" and conquer of Italy. Not bad, huh?
Very good.
Robin Hood, who is way too overly nice.
And do you enjoy robbing then?
Well, it helps pay the rent, sir.
Jolly good.
And King Agamemnon, who clearly believes that pants are optional.
The enemy of the people is dead!
Now, it isn't all fun and games in this one. All of their time-traveling shenanigans has caught the attention of Evil, a malevolent being that's in desperate need of nail cutters. Eesh. That's some Ripley's Believe It or Not shit right there. Either way, Evil wants the time travel map so he can do some seriously evil shit with it. Duh.
If I were creating a world, I wouldn't mess about with butterflies and daffodils. I would have started with lasers. 8 o'clock, day one.
Sorry.
And he also knows that the Time Bandits are little greedy bastards. So, he ends up concocting a plan to lure them into searching for the most fabulous object in the world. An obvious trap. Like other stories, it's become a battle of good versus evil. Quite literally. The Time Bandits are forced to overcome their materialistic nature, confront evil, and get the time travel map back in the right hands. Oh yeah, and you want to be looking out for the bandit called Vermin. I saw him eating some weird shit along the way in this film. Like candles and rats. Ew.
It's not meant to be eaten.
You never know until you've eaten it.
I really enjoyed this movie, and it was an absolute pleasure revisiting it to do this review. My first viewing of this film all those years ago, I didn't take note of anything. I was along for the ride. This time, it was kind of interesting to take note of all the items in Kevin's bedroom in the beginning, like pictures and toys, as they ended up to foreshadow our future locations and historical acquaintances. Plus, it also supports my theory that Kevin was doing some glue sniffing in his bedroom, aiding his vivid imagination.
Drugs! Hey, good idea!
Now, I know what the kids are going to say about this one. Ugh, this movie's like 1,000,000 years old. Pff, Well, yeah, okay, maybe it is. You know, now, this movie might not be able to match the fast pace of TikToks and fentanyl that all you kids are doing, but damn it, this movie has heart, I tell you. So, at the end of the day, I give it a big thumbs up and a score of 8.1. For all you that think that thumbs ups are a little too wishy-washy. So, there you have it. That's the score, and that's the review.
Short people are just the same as you and I. It's a wonderful world. All men are brothers until